Hi everyone, I'm Becky and welcome to Becky's AngelScopes. I'm so happy you're joining me here today. It is autumn in the Northern Hemisphere where I am, and so I hope for all of you, the pumpkins are on the porch and the mums are blooming in the garden. It is indeed going to be a wonderful autumn. For those of you in the Southern Hemisphere, it's springtime, so enjoy that as well. Now, happy birthday, Libra, and happy birthday upcoming, my dear and fabulous Scorpios. It is a very powerful time for manifesting what your heart desires, because it is said that on your birthday, as you blow out the candles and make your wish, you have a direct line to source energy to manifest whatever your heart desires, as long as it is in the highest and best good of all concerned. So expect that fabulous birthday gift to come to you soon. All that being said, I want to thank my subscribers for subscribing. It is such a joy to see that you enjoy these readings. And those of you who are just visiting, we welcome you to join us and subscribe as well. And if you decide that you would like a private reading with me, I would be honored to do that for you. I do readings on just about any particular area of life, and I have many different spreads that are available. And of course, we always give the last word to the angels of love and light. All that being said, it is time to look into the month of October. I'll see you there. Okay, we're ready for Gemini. Gemini, welcome to your October 2017 reading. We're going to be using two decks today. And the first deck we're going to be using is this one. This is called Wheel of the Year Tarot. Actually, it goes like this. Wheel of the Year Tarot. And I love this autumn leaf there, and I love the colors. I think they're just beautiful colors for the autumn season. We're going to be using that for most of the reading. Then we'll be crowning the reading today with Doreen Virtue's Romance Angels Oracle Cards, a deck. And you've seen these before. They're just lovely, and I love them very much. So we're going to be using both of these decks today. Now we're going to be doing a 5-card spread. Position 1 will be a general situation. Let me just reiterate, it's a relationship spread today. And so if you do not have someone in mind as you approach the reading, just think of this as a general overall insight into what you really feel about love and how you can maybe turn that around if you need to. Those of you who do have someone in mind as we come to the reading today, that's who this reading will be about. So the first card position will be about the general situation between you and the other person, or if you have no one in mind, it'll be your general energetic vibrational set point surrounding you and love. In the second position, we'll be looking into how this other person feels about you, Gemini, or if you don't have anyone in mind, it'll be sort of kind of how you're seeing love at this point. And number 3, or perhaps we even could consider it of what kind of energy you're putting out there regarding love in order to see what you attract in, sort of that. In position 3, we'll be looking at how you, Gemini, feel about this other person, or if you don't have another person, how you are feeling about love in general, and how you really feel about that. And it may give you some clue as to why your situation is such as it is. And in number 4, we're going to be looking at any obstacles to a relationship forming or moving forward in a relationship that's already formed. Or if you don't have anyone in particular in mind, how you can shift that to bring someone in who is suited for you. And in position 5, we'll be looking at any outcome or advice that Spirit wants to give us today. So let's get started. Now I've already shuffled these cards, and I've already created our sacred space, so we're ready to go. So we're going to ask our angels to come in now. Angels of love and light, we are asking for Gemini for the month of October 2017 in love. In the first position, we need angels insight on the general situation between Gemini. Oh my goodness, they're already saying Gemini and the person they're interested in, or the person they have in mind. And we're going to put that right about there. Okay, angels, and thank you. In the second position, we want to know how this other person feels about our Gemini. How does this person really feel about our Gemini at this moment in time? Great. Third position, angels, we want to know how Gemini is really feeling deep down inside about the person they have in mind as they come to the reading today. There it is. Thank you. Also, angels, we are wanting to know, are there any obstacles between Gemini and this person in terms of a relationship? There it is. Thank you. And then any outcome or advice, angels, that we need to relay to Gemini today, and it's right there. Okay, I'm just going to move these over to make sure that when I turn them over, you will be able to see them. I'll show you the cards up close too as well. Oh, I just realized my microphone is not on, and I apologize for that. Let me go ahead and pop that on right now. Sorry about that, Gemini. Okay, that should be a little clearer for you to see. Okay, now I'm going to just check right now with the camera to make sure that everything is in view. And we're just going to go ahead and shift that a little bit so we can get a better view of that. How is that looking now? All right, that's just about it. Maybe just shift a little bit further. Okay, I think we will be able to get all that into the frame today. Excellent. Okay, perfect. Now, remember, in first position, well, before I do that, actually, let's go ahead and turn all the cards over so I can show them to you, Gemini. All right, in position number 1, you have this card here, and this is called the Hierophant, a major arcana, which is meaningful. We'll talk about it. In position 2, we've got this beautiful card, another major arcana. In this deck, it's called the Stars, plural. Usually in most decks, it's just singular, the star. In position 3, Gemini, we have the Five of Wands. Very interesting card. And in position 4, Gemini, we've got this one right here. This is the Emperor. Another major arcana has come out today for you, Gemini. This is number 4 in this deck, the Emperor. And we'll talk about that in a minute. We'll save number 5 for the end of the reading. Okay, so let's get started. Now, in position 1 is the general situation between you and the person on your mind as you came to the reading today. And what we've got is the Hierophant. Now, the Hierophant you can see here is a high priest, or in some decks it's the Pope, as it were. But in all cases, it's a high authoritative religious figure, a leader in some sort of religious organization. And so we can say that this particular card can represent dogma, adherence to rules and declarations and proclamations. It is a card definitely of marriage, because it does represent institutions of society, and marriage definitely being one of those institutions. And we can see here that this parishioner or person from the congregation is grabbing his hand and asking for some kind of blessing or benediction or sanctification or legitimization. There is some kind of ritual underway here, and it's part of religious, organized religion usually, or dogma, or some kind of institution that is sanctified by that. And so in this case, we may be looking at a general situation. I'm just looking at the other cards. Yeah, I mean, it could be. We've got 2 cards here that are very interesting. We'll talk about them. But I'm seeing that overall, the general situation between you and the object of your desire, Gemini, could be a couple of things. Number 1, it could be, and I'm looking at some of the other cards, it could be looking at some of the other cards and incorporating them into this one, it could be that you and this other person, Gemini, may not see eye to eye when it comes to basically your faiths. Your faiths may be of such a difference between your faith and the other person's faith, or spiritual inclinations, as we say, that it may be an issue, or it may not be an issue. It could even be something that one of you is interested in marriage. Maybe the other person isn't. Maybe marriage has been talked about. Maybe there's a little bit of disagreement over that, or it could very well be something like that. It doesn't have to be like that, but it could go very, very, excuse me, I'm stuttering here. Sorry about that. It could go in various ways, but I'm seeing it as either a general situation surrounding legitimizing the relationship in some way, and there may be an issue of belief systems which are contrasting between the two of you, which may indeed be coming up as some kind of impediment, but we'll have to check that a little bit later through the spread. Or it could just be, you know, maybe someone in this particular relationship or in this coupling, you and the other person, is more inclined to follow an organized religion, and maybe the other person is not, and there's a little bit of a difference there. Or one person wants to get married and broach that as an issue or a point of conversation. Maybe there's a little bit of disagreement on which way to go there. All right, but nonetheless, it's a very, very, very strong card because it is a major arcana. Now, the next position we have, how does this other person feel about you, Gemini? And lo and behold, we have the star. I have to say, Gemini, they see you as basically a gift, a heavenly gift from spirit, basically. They almost see you as their hope. You are the embodiment. They see you as the embodiment, it's hard to say, of what they've been hoping for. And that's a big responsibility on you, Gemini, but nonetheless, that's how they're seeing you. I mean, they have given you, basically they put you on this pedestal, and they feel like that you are the fulfillment of their hopes and dreams, and a blessing from above, and that there was some sort of spiritual energy at work that called you forth into their life, and that's how they see you. And that's exactly how they see you. I would say they're just overwhelmed and enthralled with you. And I wouldn't be surprised, looking at the cards, they're the ones, the other person may be the one that is sort of pushing toward marriage. And maybe you're not so sure, Gemini, and I'll show you why. Because in position 3, how you feel about the other person, we've got the 5 of Wands. Now this is not a terrible fight. If it were swords or something else, it might be, you know, truly a fight or a strong disagreement. But what we see here is kind of a playful bantering. They're not really serious. Look at this person. He's smiling, and this one is, he looks a little more serious, but he doesn't look like he's all that serious. It's kind of it's in a way we could see it as a standoff, where neither side in this particular relationship is winning or getting their way. It's kind of like stalled, so to speak, right here in the center point. No one's winning or losing. And these 5 wands are down here, and it can be just minor disagreements. It can be even kind of just fun bantering back and forth. Testing the waters with a little bit of that bantering. It's not a serious disagreement. It could be a little bit of squabbling, not particularly squabbling, that's not the right word, but the word escapes me at the moment. But it's some mild disagreements or some kind of playful bantering, whatever it is. There may be some issues over this, like we already talked about, or it may be something else. But whatever it is, how you feel about this other person is that you're not quite on the same page. It may not be serious. It may not be anything that's going to cause you to walk away from it, but you're seeing or feeling that this other person may not be on the same page as you or want the same things as you, but it's kind of a standoff. They're just as strong-minded as you are with strong urges that you have. So you're both equal in that regard. You both have equilibrium when it comes to your ideas and your passion. We could almost see this in some weird way, it just came to me, as passion, which traditionally it's not usually that way, but it's almost like you're equal on all fronts in strength. In you can see the passion they have to win this. You can see the earnestness in their faces. And in a way, you're both, you feel that you're both equal in that regard. But there, like I said, there may be some disagreement over which way to take this, down a more traditional path or not. And that's kind of how you guys are, the energy between you is playing out. Now, in position 4, what are the obstacles? We ask Spirit to tell us, what are the obstacles to a relationship with this particular person? Now, look what you've got here, Gemini. You have got the Emperor. Now, the Emperor is quite a mighty figure. He is the number 4 in the major arcana. So he is a powerful energy, just as powerful as the Hierophant and the Star. You have got some huge energy forces at work here. And what we have here is the Emperor. And 4 is a number of great stability. The Emperor is the master of all he surveys. He is indeed a master of all he surveys. He is in charge. He is large and in charge. Believe me, that is exactly who this man is. He knows what he's doing. He knows he's the authority, and he embraces that. We could say he lays down the law, and it's his way or the highway. And so I'm thinking somebody I just heard is entrenched, has taken a position and is entrenched in that position, and they're not budging, because the obstacle is stubbornness and hard-headedness, represented by this Emperor here. Stubbornness, hard-headedness, entrenchment in one's position, and unwilling to budge or compromise. And these two gentlemen are going to be forced into a compromise, because neither one can win the arm wrestle. And so this one, remember, Hierophant represents dogma and almost an entrenchment as well in dogma. That's sort of the negative side of the Hierophant. So somebody's entrenched in their position here. Maybe somebody's pushing for marriage. It may not be you, Gemini, or somebody's pushing for something. But I guarantee you, Gemini, they see you as their great embodiment of their hopes and dreams, truly delivered on a platter by Spirit to them. So my guess is they may be the ones who are pushing you to make some decisions about it. Now let's look at the 5th card, the outcome card or the advice card. We're running a little long on your reading, Gemini. All right, we've got the Queen of Swords. Yes, yes, and yes. Gemini, this is you. This is definitely a card of you. Swords is air energy. Gemini, you are an air sign. The element of air is Gemini. There are Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius are zodiac signs which are represented by the element of air. And we have the Queen of Swords. This could be you, Gemini. It could very well be you. And she is kind of like the ice queen. What I'm seeing is the outcome or advice card regarding this stalemate. You can see it may be for you, Gemini, to go ahead and make a decision, because the Queen of Swords renders decisions. I don't know if we can see her sword here in this particular version. Yes, it's almost hard to see. It blends in with her costume, but here's her sword here. She has got that sword raised, and she's about to make a decision. And it'll be a decision that is true and fair and just, and one in which she has considered both sides of the argument or both sides of the situation. She has come up with a decision, and she's about to render it. So the advice here, Gemini, can go many ways, but the first way it could go is make a decision. Make a decision, render the verdict, and move forward on that. If you do not see a future, if you do not feel like you are this person, and that you don't feel like there's going to be any kind of union that's sanctified with marriage or some kind of a contract like a marriage, and you feel like, because this is how you're viewing the other person, and you're just like, I don't know, it's kind of a standoff here, you may be just about ready to make a declaration and make a decision on which way you want to go. Now, another way this could work is there could just be a state of frozenness, as it were, where the advice could be to wait, to not take any decision. Yes, the sword is raised and it seems like she's about ready to decide, but perhaps there needs to be a bit more consideration before you decide about this. It could very well be that to take a little more time for that ice to thaw so that you can think clearly before you render that sword down in a decision. But it could go either way. It could go well, the other thing I just heard is think carefully, weigh everything carefully, consider all aspects of this relationship, because whoever it is, Gemini, I can tell you flat out, they are really crazy about you. They really are. They really think you're just fabulous. The bee's knees, as they used to say in the 1920s. Okay, let's see what the Romance Angels can add to the reading today. Romance Angels, could you give us one card, please, for Gemini for October 2017? One card. Okay, thank you. There it is. I just got chills on that one too. All right. So the Romance Angels say, give your relationship a chance. Work on your partnership. This is a beautiful, beautiful card. So we can see this as the decision coming down. The advice will be, give it a fair chance. The Queen of Swords is about fairness. She's about insight and cutting through any superfluous fog that might be clouding the issues. And so the advice that we can couple here with the Romance Angels cards is to give it a chance. Give it a chance. Maybe that verdict needs to be, give it a chance, give it a chance, give it a chance. Maybe relinquish some of that stubbornness, if it's you, Gemini. Stop that battling or competing even. Could be even a competitive competition type atmosphere. And just take that chance. Work on it. Let the ice thaw and the warmness come back into it. And see where it goes from here. Because Spirit's saying it definitely has a chance to be fabulous for you and for the other person. Now, if you do not have anyone special in mind, then what this whole relationship is saying to you is to give love a chance. Give it a chance. Be open. Don't be so entrenched in your preconceived notions. Just give it a chance. Give love a chance. All right, Gemini, that is it. What a lovely reading. It's just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. I love it. I hope it helped you in some way that's meaningful for you. And I will be back around mid-month for another reading. But until then, I wish you peace, richest blessings, and always love beyond your wildest dreams. And so it is.